So, as she said, hey YouTube! YouTube, it is Lucy, and we are obviously back at home. I enjoy, being back in my own environment, finally getting some sleep. We did get a fair amount of sleep, nothing that we needed or to officially catch up on, but we are home and that's amazing. As you can hear, there are toddlers in the background who's yelling, help, help. Put down some notes to discuss with y'all on here because I am so sleep deprived. I'm not going to remember everything. I had so many messages and comments about vaccinations with him having just turned 2 months and then having these potential seizure-like episodes. He has not been vaccinated. He has not received a single vaccine, no Hep B, no vitamin K, no oral, no eye drops. I mean, literally, the boy has never had any medication whatsoever in his system. Nothing. I wish I had something that I knew I could blame it on, but this is not it. Secondly, the reason for that is he may have a chromosomal abnormality, and we have been advised to not administer anything until we have some answers because you don't want to knowingly yet unintentionally cause harm that could have been prevented. This is not fever related. I know that I brought up the fever and I brought it up because it was a part of what took place, but the fever did not happen until after the seizure. It did not happen beforehand. He had had them for 2 weeks prior to that and had never had a fever. That was his very first fever, and that fever only lasted about an hour. It was gone within 5 minutes of getting into the hospital, and it never came back. During our entire hospital stay, he had not once had a fever other than that initial check-in in the emergency department. The doctor came into the hospital room, first time we had seen him in a long time. What did I miss? Why are you asking me about wet diapers and poop diapers? And we've already addressed all this. Why don't you just tell me what the EEG results were? He goes on and on. And then I just had to ask him because he just never addressed it. I was like, so now that you've asked all this ridiculous stuff, what were the results? And there were no results. The EEG test had not been read yet. It was still left in the system as unread. I honestly don't know why the doctor came in. None of it really made sense. Why are you here if you have no results? You didn't offer any information. There was nothing for us to really talk about. You were just kind of, I don't know. It was weird. It was really weird. They had detached Sutton from his monitors, and that was amazing because when he was attached to those monitors, the machine that he was attached to did not reach to the bed, crib bed, but like my bed, which meant I was confined to a very small section that entire time of our stay to just a chair. I couldn't walk around. I couldn't go anywhere. It was miserable, guys. It just sucks. I don't know how people do it. Like I said, I know y'all don't have a choice, but it's not fun. The nurse, she tells us that we're being discharged. Wait a second. Did I space out? Where are the EEG results? We're just being discharged without the results. The whole reason we're here is not being addressed. It felt like I was in a twilight zone. It says it's unread, but the doctor said y'all could go home. And I'm like, what? I'm annoyed. We leave the hospital, we're escorted out or whatever. He also tested positive for RSV, but a month ago he was sick. He is not sick, has not been sick recently. He is still not sick. He has had zero, and I do mean zero, symptoms or signs of any type of illness or distress of any kind other than the potential seizure-like episodes that he's feeling. Are we sure about that RSV test? How accurate is that? Because he was sick. You see this kid. We all see this kid, right? He's not sick. He tells me that he could be asymptomatic with RSV. And I was like, so could it still show up from a month ago when he was sick? We were all sick because also nobody else in our house is sick, nor have they been sick recently. And for what it's worth, they did, the nose swab to the brain test, which obviously he did not like, and had the test not been so invasive, I would have told him to just retest him again because there's no way that sucker was accurate. Anyways, they had escorted us out, and the nurse that walked us out was very kind and polite, and she went on to explain to me, she said something about how the lady who administered the EEG test had put the leads, the little stickers on his chest for the EEG, and she should not have put them on his nipples because it's such a sensitive area, and they were very much directly on his nipples, which explains why he was in so much pain and discomfort with those suckers coming off. I thought it was odd that they would put it there, but I'm his mother and want my baby to be in no pain ever or any discomfort, mild or not. I wasn't happy with it, but I also didn't know if that was normal. She took the time to explain to me that it was not, and that she had said something, and I appreciate that. But during that conversation, I realized that not only did we not get our EEG results, but we also did not get our results on the cultures from the other tests that they took as well. It must be viral is what the doctor had said. Otherwise, they would have just requested to do an LP, which is why they did not request to do an LP. They feel confident it's not meningitis related or any of that other junk because, again, nothing showed up on his blood work or his urine work, not the immediate test results at least. Back to the EEG test, they did the 30-minute test. They also did the lights test with him, but I don't know that was very accurate. Let's say he was looking this way, lying on, the bed with his head flat on the bed. The light is kind of coming from behind him and at an angle. If he saw any of the light, he was only seeing it from like this point of view of his vision, and that was it. I kind of feel like that was also a pointless test due to the way that it was administered. Last thing I want to mention is that we do have neurology information, so we can make an appointment tomorrow on Monday and kind of go from there. But until we do that, we really don't have anything else to go off of right now as for what caused any of it. Until next time, I will see y'all later. Bye, YouTube.